Colossians 1:15 says, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation." Well, if you're joining us in reading this 30-day reading plan, today's reading is Colossians 1:13 through 20. I encourage you to read that passage. Well, I'd like to spend just a few minutes talking about icons. These are not idols. They're representations of someone who has lived. In a sense, they're pictures to remind us who people are and were. And if those people happen to be ones with whom we have a relationship, or they have a relationship with Christ, then that picture becomes even more important. It can help you in becoming more like Christ. Now, I have several pictures of my maternal grandfather. He was a sea captain who sailed in full-rigged ships. His voyages around the world introduced him to different cultures and peoples, and this colored his life. As I look at a picture of my grandfather, I'm reminded that he was an adventurer, but he also had responsibilities to the men of his ship and to his wife. It was his job to ensure that those under his protection were protected and returned homely safe after the voyage. I have an icon of Christ's baptism in my office. It shows Christ in the water. It shows John the Baptist and the angels. But mostly to me, it shows two acts of submission. It is Christ's submission so that all things might be fulfilled, Matthew 3:15. It also shows John the Baptist's submission to Christ again in Matthew 3:15. How are we submissive to Christ? Are we doing his will? Are we growing to look more like him on a daily basis? I have an icon of Maximus the Confessor, 590 to 662 AD. The large theological controversy in his day was whether or not Christ had one nature, human or God, or if Christ had two natures, human and God. When the emperor did not like what Maximus was writing, even though it was theologically correct, he threatened to cut off his right hand so he could no longer write. Maximus told the emperor that he could still speak, even if he didn't have a right hand. So the emperor cut off his right hand and cut out his tongue. Now, when I look at Maximus, I know that I am to follow truth no matter where it leads me or what happens to me on the way. Who are the people you are following? What attributes of Christ in their lives are you bringing into your life?